Welcome to From Beyond with your host, Glenn Boddice. Join me as we explore spirituality, self-help, and channeling spirits. Hello and welcome to From Beyond with your host, Glenn Boddice, spiritual medium. Thank you for tuning in for a very exciting, action-packed show this week. As in this week's episode, I'm joined by my co-host, Kristina Bloom, and today's show's title is called Channeling from the Beyond with Kristina Bloom. Also in this week's show, we have the forecast reading, which will hopefully help you navigate your way through the twists and turns of this week ahead. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my co-host all the way from the USA, Kristina Bloom. Kristina, how are you doing?
I'm great, Glenn. How are you?
That's wonderful to hear. I would say I'm doing well. I'm just settling in nicely to 2024, just getting my feet nice and toasty on the ground. And what about yourself?
Yeah. Where I live, there is no toasty. We are at -7 Fahrenheit right now. So I don't know what that is in Celsius, but I know it's cold.
Yeah, that's your extremities dropping off just about in this. That's
Almost.
how it translates over here anyway.
Yes. So I am too settling into 2024. I'm feeling like there's been a shift, like there's... what is the word I'm looking for? I'm so tired of using the word shift, but it's the only one that really fits. I feel like all of the baggage from 23 has been left behind, and now it's kind of a clean start. It's a little bit of a delay from the first, but I feel like it's a clean start moving forward for a lot of people at this point.
I'm inclined to agree with you on that. It does feel different than previous years, doesn't it? It feels more chilled.
It does.
Very less hectic. Everybody's on like this... Yeah, man, this peace vibe. That's what I'm finding anyway.
A lot of people, yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
So we better crack on. So let's explain to the audience what we're doing today. So as we say, tonight's show is called Channeling from Beyond with Kristina Bloom. And what we're going to be doing in this episode is both of us are going to have a tag team channeling session. And so basically, we're going to take it in turns to go into trance mediumship, and then the other one, either Christine or myself, we've prepared 10 questions that the other person doesn't know that we've prepared them, okay? And so we're going to ask the spirit communicator that is stepping forward to answer the questions that we have for them to the best of their abilities. So would you say that's a good summary for what we're up to, Kristina?
I believe it is. And I'm glad that we didn't share the questions, because then there's no chance that someone can say, oh, well, they just thought about it ahead of time.
Yes. Yeah. It's good. We should point that out. We had no idea what the questions are from one another.
Right.
So
should be interesting.
It should. So for the listeners that are listening, you will have to bear with us slightly, because when we go into trance mediumship, it may take 30 seconds to a minute just to allow the spirits to acclimatize to our vibration and come forward. But don't worry, we're not leaving any dead air hanging around. We'll make you feel comfortable while that process is occurring. Okay, Kristina.
Yes, and you're going first, so...
I am. I'm taking one for the team. Okay, so I'm just going to get nice and toasty and comfortable right here.
Okay.
And I'll let you take the helm, okay? So, okay, this is me now just going into trance mediumship mode. Over to you, Kristina.
Okay, perfect. Hey, guys, he transferred power over to me. All right. So for those of you who are not familiar with channeling, what we do is that we move over or move up and out of our bodies, however it works for each of us. And another spirit, in my case, and I'm sure in Glenn's case too, because I've listened to him channel before, is that the spirits coming in are generally of a higher being of light, They have a different perspective than humans do. They might be spirits who have been on the planet before. They might be spirits who are angelic or off planet. We'll just have to see how it all works out. But I have prepared 10, I hope, interesting questions for the entities that come through Glenn as we're getting ready. And it looks like he's getting ready to start channeling.
Hello there, you're right, me darling. How you going on?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm smashing. I'm first up to the hockey tonight. I hope you don't mind me coming through in this manner, and I hope your listeners can hear me loud and clear. Now, we're all very excited this side of vibrational reality, shall we say, and we understand that you have a series of questions you would like to ask.
I do. Are you ready to start taking questions?
Oh, yes, please do. Fire away.
All right. So my first question is, why do you feel compelled to help and guide humans as a collective from where you are? Why do you feel compelled to help and guide the human race?
Well, basically, to answer that question, as you know, we're all linked, we're all connected, we're all vibrational frequencies and energies, and we all feed back to the greater collective. And with that greater collective, there is a level of expansion because everything's moving and expanding. And so why we feel compelled to help is that as we give, we also receive. And so do you, and so do your ancestors, and so do your, shall we say, your future ancestors, or whatever the terminology is. Everybody benefits from it. And so we feel compelled to help you expand because it's part of the grand plan, so to speak.
Oh, good. That leads right into a few other questions that I have. And one of the questions is, what caused this expansion? What caused the ascension that we're going through to begin with?
Well, the expansion that you're talking about, are you referring to this present moment in time? What's causing you
Yes.
Right, what's causing you? Well, what's causing you to expand is this need to know thyself, to love thyself. And as you know, everything that binds us all together is the vibration of love. Now, we're not talking about that romantic kissy-coo version of love. We're talking about the ever-present vibration, the adhesive that holds everything together. And so what we endeavour to do by helping you all is for you to know yourself, appreciate yourself, and in doing so, you pull back the curtains on reality and you see yourself for who you truly are. And that is pure love, pure essence, pure frequency. And so that's why we're here to help and guide you.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. So why are some of us at this point in time choosing to grasp onto the ascension while others are choosing to not ascend?
Oh, you're referring to the split. Well, okay, we'll
Yes.
talk about that. Well, as you know, there is light and dark, and without the dark, you can't have the light, and without the light, you can't have the dark. So there's always going to be this understanding of duality. And so with this being the case with ascension, there'll be those people that have elected, or souls that have elected not to ascend, to simply aid those that want to ascend and understand that they're going through this ascension because of that duality, that contrast, so to speak. Because if it was just expanding and everybody was expanding at the same rate, it wouldn't work, if you understand my meaning. You need that level of balance. And also you need way showers as well. So there'll be various souls that have elected to go into this process of ascending first, in order for those that have elected not to ascend first, in order to enable those that are ascending first. If that makes sense.
It does.
It's a kind of a symbiotic relationship that's not often spoken about. because the focused intention by your, shall we say, societies are always about splits, and it's not. You're all connected and you're all serving one another. Without the dark, like we say, you wouldn't have the light. And so that's what it's all about. Everybody's going to eventually reach some level of platitude, if that's the correct terminology. But until that point, you need this sort of this understanding of those people are going first, the way showers, in order for the other people to follow. And do you understand our meaning? We're talking in circles.
Yes.
We understand we're coming through a little bit unusual, but it's not our intention. You must understand.
That was perfectly clear to me. Thank you. So do you also work with other species on Earth with ascension, or are humans
excuse
the
me,
only...
I've just butted in. I've just been made to stand forward and come forward as we're all taking it in turns to come through. Could you repeat the question, my darling, if you don't mind?
Absolutely, and welcome. Do you also collectively work with other species on Earth aside from humans?
Of course, yes. We work with the animal kingdom, obviously. There's also lots of other vibrational beings that you're not aware of, and I believe these are the beings that you're speaking of, the ones that are currently in a different frequency band to yourselves, and so you're only aware of your own species, such as the human race and the animal kingdom, yet at the side of you, you have brothers and sisters that are vibrating on a different vibrational frequency that you can't interact with. Most of you can't anyway. And we're talking about light bodies, light beings, and other, what you would describe as, it's a hard terminology to pin them down, but you would call them the ET race, or races. And so, yes, we do work with them, to answer your question and get to the point. And we work with them in many ways, but primarily it's through frequency, and it's the intention. And this is the way that we communicate with all. One of the previous communicators spoke about the vibration of love, and love that binds us all together. And we also communicate through that vibrational alignment with everything and everyone, if you understand our meaning.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Absolutely. And so the rest of the questions seem a little bit random, so I hope that you're able to jump around some.
Okay.
What exactly are emotions?
Emotions, we would describe them as they're a feedback system, basically. They're helping you to understand who you are as an individual, and also release some of those shackles and misalignments within you. Emotions can be very helpful when you connect with others, as you're aware of the term an empathic individual, where you can link into the vibrational feelings of others. And you're all capable of doing this, but some of you have elected to shut those abilities off. And the purpose of emotions, as we're getting to the point, is so that you can make more of an understanding of what you're here to do, the people around you, the vibrations around you. They're almost like a navigational system that goes, I would say, that will help your intellectual mind empathize and connect with energy and information on a more deeper level than just the bare facts. You understand, if you were to say it's either black or it's white, that's a very intellectual statement, where if you were to say that's black, and then you just observed how the blackness made you feel, you see there's another field of information in doing that. And also, when you say, oh, that's white, yet when you feel into the color of white, you understand the lightness and how comforting and peaceful it makes you feel. There's another layer of information that can be obtained. So emotions are very, I would say, they're very important for you to learn and grow and expand, and that's the point of you having them. And if you notice, there's various races, alien races, that are known not to have emotions. And we're not judging them by saying this, but what you will find, a lot of these races are very intellectually magnificent, but they can only reach a certain level in their growth and understanding of creation, their understanding of expansion. They're not willing to change, you see. They have agendas and they stick to them. Whereas if they were to be a little bit more empathic and have the emotions, they would obtain more information, more depth, if you understand.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Can you give us a little bit more information about what you get from communicating with us? How does that benefit you? And I know you touched, or I'm sorry, the other communicator touched on it.
Okay, it benefits us because we get very excited. We get the opportunity to, as you know, we have to lower our vibration to come into your dimension. And so most of us have had a lifespan or lifetime or various lifetimes on your planet in this dimension. And so to get that opportunity to come down here and experience it, all for it being a brief millisecond in our perspective, we're all very excited about doing that. Because as you know, they call the Earth the Universal Library. And so to be able to come down to the library if you behave yourself, and so what we get out of that, we get a great deal of pleasure that we've been elected to come forward. And also we get the pleasure of coming through, blending with a vehicle such as the one that is sat in front of you, or virtually, as they would say in today's language. We get the opportunity to blend and feel what it's like to have a physical body again. Because as you know, we're talking from the world of spirit, and we have a spirit body, and we communicate with mind and thoughts. And so to impart those thoughts into a physical body again, we get a great deal of excitement, and it's a wonderful feeling for us. And also, as you know, that it's all about expansion again. As we bring through this wisdom through the vessel or the vehicle, whatever terminology you wish to use, we're adding to the great expansion. And in part, it is adding to our expansion in our spirit body, in the world of spirit. So it's helping us to expand our consciousness, to get to the next level of our evolution, so that we can learn and grow and expand and move almost, if I can use the analogy of a computer game, and you have various stages, and once you pass stage 1, you move into stage 2, and you see we're ever learning, ever expanding. And so what we get out of it, to answer your question, we learn to expand and we move on to those next stages. It's a way of us completing tasks, if that makes sense.
It absolutely does. Thank you for sharing that. So let's just take that one step further. Are we capable of channeling through some other species for them?
You already do it, my dear. You already do it, but you're not fully aware of it. As you know, you all go to bed at night, well, you should be doing anyway, for your body to rest and recalibrate and get the energy that it needs to, shall we say, to function in this dimension. Well, your soul body goes on journeys, astral traveling, as you probably heard, and you experience it yourself. And you don't always recall some of the adventures that you go on. But like we're doing with this particular vessel, we're bringing forward our etheric and spirit body through him in order to bring this communication through with you today. You do the very same, only the thing is you don't realize it, and we do.
Okay.
So,
is there a way that we can learn how to do that and remember it?
There is a way, but unfortunately, it would cause a great deal of, shall we say, mental instability. The information that you will bring back will cause a little bit of harm, and you will take it to be your information when you come back into your body. And some of the things that you speak of in other realms, in other dimensions, are of an intellectual basis that doesn't compute with the human mind, based upon your subconscious belief systems and the doctrinizations that you've all encountered on this earth plane. And so if you were to bring back some of this information with you, it would be far beyond your human brain to comprehend. And so that's why it's not allowed, as particularly when you're in your earth body, if you understand that.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see, what was another question I had here? Oh, can you describe where your home is or your space, your environment when you're not channeling through? And what is your life like when you're not communicating with us?
Can I come through now? Yeah. Do you mind?
Absolutely.
Do you mind? Right. What's it like for us, did you say? What do we do? Well, I'll tell you what I do. I'm always busy. As you've probably heard me come through before, I run about. I run from this, the spirit world into this dimension, and I bring forward lots of different people that want to come forward and come into this dimension and experience it again, or maybe they want to see their loved ones again, the ones that are left behind on the earth plane. So my job is to bring them forward so that they can spend a little bit of time here. It's not too much time, but just enough time that they can gain that experience and share that love. So I do that, but also, as you know, there's no such thing as time as such, so this is a bit of a mind bender. So while I'm doing that, I'm actually with my mum and dad at the same time, and they're telling me off, and I'm living my life like I did when I was on the earth plane, only it's more magical. Because anything you want, you can have. You've just got to think it, and it's there. So when I was growing up on the earth plane, I was a little lad, I didn't have much money or things. I always wanted what you would call a hoop and a stick. And it's where you push a hoop down a street with a stick. I know it sounds primitive to what you have nowadays, but I always wanted one, and I didn't have any money to have one. So, what I was saying is, when you're in spirit, you can have what you want. You just got to put your mind to it and know it's there. And it comes, it just magically appears. And what most of you don't realise on the earth plane, you can do it down here as well, but it's hard for your mind to get round, but you can. But anyway, I'm waffling. Going back to your original question, we're very busy, and there's no such thing as time. So I can be one of my ancestors at the same time as being me. And one of the beauties of it is when you're spirit and energy, say, for example, if you wanted to learn what one of the great leaders went through back in history of your Earth's history, let's take Lord Nelson, for example. If you wanted to experience what it was like to be him when he was making his important decisions, you can ask to have that experience, and you can go back into his timeline, but it's happening at the same time as your timeline, even though you're in different timelines. I know it sounds crazy, but it's all happening now. It's just a choice away. So all of us are doing all these jobs all at the same time, and yet we're experiencing what you would describe as heaven of peace, of tranquility, and we're just free to do that. But we do have an agenda, that, like a shopping list, that things we've got to achieve if we want to ascend and get to the next level. We all have that when we move into spirit, and you can choose to do it whenever you want, but you have to do it because it's part of your soul evolution. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does make sense. Thank you for sharing that. I've often gotten this similar information from others, so that's great. And real quick, we have a little bit less than a minute.
Okay.
it's kind of a complicated question, but can you please explain the new Earth timeline in simple terms?
Simple terms, right? Truth, honesty, balance, and knowing who you are, and stop listening to outside information that's not true. Feel your way through life rather than intellectually processing it into pigeonholes, if that makes sense, pigeon boxes, whatever the term is. You got to now flow with the energy rather than resisting it. Up until this point of this year, you've all been resisting it and trying to figure things out. Just like you did before you recorded tonight. You were figuring things out, weren't you? We were laughing at you.
I sure was.
We were watching your bum waggle up
I
and
want to
down.
thank you.
We were watching your bum waggle up and down when you were pulling wires. It was funny. But yeah. Anyway, to go
Yes,
on.
our technical problems.
So yeah, to say you got to follow the flow more. That's what the key is now to life. And ignore things that aren't really you're not feeling anymore. You've got to trust. You got to trust. And you don't need to know too much, because you'll be given that information when you need it. That's what I've narrowed it down for you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Glenn, for allowing these people to come through you, these higher beings. And thank you all for being here. Your time is up, and we're going to call Glenn back now. And here he comes.
Wow.
Hi, Glenn.
Hi, Kristina. I have no idea what was said there, but I feel very relaxed, very chilled out.
It's all good.
It's your turn now, I believe. So I have a series of questions, and I'd like you to prepare yourself to get into to trance there, and I will ask the communicators these series of questions. So what Kristina is doing now, she's just preparing herself. She's just relaxing her breathing, relaxing her physical body there, and she's moving out of her physical body, allowing herself to step aside. And what she should be feeling any moment now is that vibrational alignment from spirit, just blending with her energy, and she's giving that energy permission to come forward and speak through her. So I'm just observing her now, the vessel, and she's looking very relaxed, very comfortable. Okay, do we have a spirit communicator with us that would like to talk through our vessel this evening?
We do.
Beautiful.
Hello, my name is Urok.
Urok.
I am a member of the Pleiadian High Council.
I feel very honored to be speaking to you today. Thank you for coming forward.
I am honored as well.
Thank you. We have a series of questions. Are you okay for me to ask them to you?
Yes, please continue.
Thank you. Well, the first question I'd like to ask is, from your perspective, what is it like to blend with the vehicle?
This is interesting, as it may be different for me than for others who also blend with this vehicle, because Kristina and I share a soul. We are different aspects of the same soul. And so when I blend with her, it feels very much like a homecoming for me. It feels as though I am more complete in the moment as I use her physical vessel to come through to speak to you.
That's beautiful. I love that you're blending with that home, that's home space. So the second question I have for you is, how are our spirit guides assigned to us on the earth plane?
It is not so much assigned as it is you have chosen each other prior to coming into your physical life. It is more of a a contract. Excuse me. Drawing more oxygen into the body to support two of us while I am in here. As I was saying, it is more of a contract. You agree to spend this segment together. One of you physical, the others etheric. And we understand that, well, first of all, we have spirit guides as well as Pleiadians. And some of us are spirit guides for humans. And sometimes human spirits are spirit guides for us and others as well. We are all interdimensionally and energetically connected. We are all one energy. And so when we split into different energies to reach out and gather information or to share information, we bring all of that information back to the whole of energy in all of its existence. But to answer your question, we agree on both sides for all species.
Thank you.
Who our spirit guides will be.
That is beautiful. Thank you for answering that in such clarity and depth. My third question is, what procedures do our loved ones in the world of spirit have to go through in order to bring a message to us on the earth plane?
It is actually easier than you might think it is.
Okay.
Assuming that they are not attempting to project a full, apparition. Yeah. But in order to communicate telepathically is actually very easy for them because they are your loved ones. They are already connected, as everything is connected, but they are more strongly connected to you through the bond of love. And so for them, that is actually fairly easy to come through. In order to do something in the physical world, that takes considerably more effort and more energy. So there is that. But for communication, if there is already a love bond between the spirit and the human physical spirit, that is actually a very easy connection.
That's beautiful. Thank you for clarifying that for us. My next question is, why do animals experience spiritual activity more than humans?
Because no one has told them that they cannot. It's that simple.
Beautifully put.
No one tells a dog or a cat that they are not able to see spirit. And if any human did, particularly with cats, you know that they would not listen.
Exactly. Yeah. They're creatures to their own, aren't they?
Cats? Yes, they are.
So thank you for answering that. And my next question is, how can us humans on the earth plane experience different realities in our now moment consciousness?
Simply by being open to them, it is a human trait to question everything, and not that questioning is wrong. It is not. There is nothing wrong with questioning. But very often when one of you has that experience, you question the experience itself. You ask yourself, am I crazy? Did that actually just happen? And you can question it all the way away to where it is no longer part of your experience. So in order to remain open to the multidimensional experiences within your current environment, and this goes for everyone, of course, simply remain open to it. Simply remain willing to accept that there is more than just your reality.
Thank you. That was beautifully put. And it makes perfect sense what you're saying there, to step outside of the way and just to trust the experience rather than unpicking it. So my next question to you is the history of the planet Earth true? What we're told, is it true?
Yes and no. What you know of history of the Earth, or what you have been taught, is only partially true, and in total it is only a small portion of the actual history on Earth. There are no actual histories that are written down that any current language would understand, but there have been many empires that have risen and fallen on planet Earth long before current humans would believe that they existed. Am I making sense?
You are. Yes, I completely understand.
Okay.
And I understand.
There is a history, many histories that humans have absolutely no awareness of, except for the select few who have connected in with those energetically.
Thank you. I appreciate that answer. I realised it was a loaded question there, but you answered it beautifully. Thank you. So my next question to you is, what timelines are playing out in 2024?
In reference to?
Well, choice, basically. We all have choice, don't we? But from your higher perspective, from the collective consciousness as it stands in this precise moment, what are your viewings or observations of the timelines playing out for 2024?
Much less limited. And this is both personal and global. And it refers to, it extends to, excuse us for using the incorrect word, it extends to all species, not simply humans. It extends to the animal kingdom. It extends to the Fae. It extends to the other dimensional people who are living on your planet that you may or may not be aware of and that most are not aware of. The timelines are much less limited. There is more growth, more choice, more openness. There is an expanded openness that your written history has never accounted for, ever. There has been this type of openness before, but not when any of you have been on the planet. The timelines are, of course, moving more quickly. That is not just an illusion. The timelines are moving more quickly. And even though time is a human construct, you are noticing that everything seems to be moving more quickly, faster. Your days don't seem as long as far as accomplishment, that most humans are having difficulty accomplishing the same amount of whatever it is that they are trying to accomplish in the same amount of time, and it seems more difficult because the timelines are moving faster. They're condensed, and so as you are moving along, and time is shifting for you on Earth. There's that word again, shifting. It is the most appropriate word. It is the most descriptive word for what is happening. Many of you are noticing time anomalies. You are noticing when time seems to stand still or time seems to skip ahead. And sometimes some of you are even noticing when time tends to go backwards and you are gaining what you perceive as time. And as this continues, and it will continue, those of you who are conscious enough to realize what is happening, you will learn to begin to actually move the timelines to your advantage in order to accomplish more, in order to enjoy more, in order to relax more.
Thank you. That was beautifully put. I really appreciate that. Another question I'd like to ask is, can you explain where the financial system is heading on planet Earth?
Yes, we can.
Thank you.
We can tell you that the financial system is shifting in a way that it benefits more people, more of what the 1%, I guess is what they're called, would call the common people. The financial system is shifting in a way, and it has been for a while, for those of you who have been paying attention, it is shifting in a way where people who have had less are having access to more digital flow of their finances. And these are very small increments that some people might not notice. And of course, it's going to expand as everything is. But where it's at right now, I don't know what to call them, where when people use specific outlets to purchase things, they get percentages off or percentages back that they can then have that small percentage more. And this is going to continue to grow. This is going to continue to move forward where the larger banks will no longer be in control of the world's money supply. And money is, again, an artificial construct. So let's go with abundance and prosperity. There is a large shift in many parts of the world where people are opting out of the financial system and therefore not giving their energy to it. And the more people who opt out of it and withdraw their energy, the weaker the system becomes. It will look like financial losses and crashes, but it will only look like that to those who have a lot. It will not look like that to those who have less. The power is shifting to a broader base of people.
Thank you. That's so encouraging to hear that. Thank you for diving deep with that question. Another question I'd like to ask you is, will we witness, I'm saying we as the human species collective, will we witness ET activity this year on planet Earth?
We are always amused by this question because if you're paying attention, you already are witnessing it. There have been many people who have come forward and shared their experiences directly with ETs for those, and also with, they're not extraterrestrials. They live in large water bases, large water homes, and they come up through your water systems, your oceans, your larger lakes. So there has already been interaction with those who are living either subterraneously or off planet altogether. And it will become more obvious. It will become more out in the open. We as a collective choose not to deal directly with your military systems. And until the human race figures out that the military is not in control of communication with ourselves and other ETs, we are going to individuals, and we are appreciating that those individuals are having the courage to step up and say so.
Thank you. That's very encouraging to hear that. And my final question to you this evening is, what advice would you give to humanity for the year of 2024?
You're going to love this. Relax. Let it unfold. Understand that life, any form of physical life, comes with some losses, as a general rule, not specific to you. That doesn't mean that throughout the whole year there will be no one leaving the planet, as in leaving their bodies. However, this year for you for all of you, can feel like just a deep breath where you relax your bodies, you relax your souls, and you allow just that relaxing alone can be, we want to choose the word wisely, that can be reinvigorating to the cells of your bodies. It can be reinvigorating to your emotions, to your spirits. And with clarity, I would like to also share that the level of anxiety on your planet in 2023 reached epic proportions, almost epidemic proportions. And 2024, you will need as a collective to just kind of relax and let some of that anxiety go, because it's too much. And everyone feels it, whether they know they're feeling it or not.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you for coming forward for this special session with us this evening. Can I ask that Kristina returns back to her physical body, and we send our love, light, and gratitude to you for this experience this evening. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you for the opportunity. Kristina will return momentarily.
Thank you. Wow, that was incredible. That was fascinating to hear all that information come through there from the Palladians. Wonderful. Kristina, are you okay? Are you back in the room?
I'm back. I'm back in my body. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, we're slowly running out of time. So I would like to thank you so much for participating in this very first session that we've done tonight. And I'm looking forward to hearing this back, because I can't remember any of it at this stage, and I'm sure you can't.
No, I'm looking forward to hearing it back too. So thank you. I will be definitely checking the moment this episode drops. I will be listening to it.
Excellent. Well, before you go, Kristina, can you just share your links with the listeners, please? Where can people find you and connect with you?
Absolutely. My website is very simple. It's my name, KristinaBloom.com. My website is under construction, so there's some changes going on there. So go in and check that out. It's going to be, by the time we're finished with it, it'll be a completely different website. Also, you can reach me on Facebook at Kristina L. Bloom, or you can join my group, which I do some special things in there too, including channelings and just random card draws and that sort of thing. And that is Kristina Bloom, and then there's a dash, your spiritual advisor. And you can message me through Facebook Messenger as well.
That's wonderful. Well, Kristina, thank you. Thank you for this evening. I'm looking forward to connecting with you next month. So have a wonderful month ahead, whatever it is you're doing. And thank you, everybody, for having that patience and listening. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Well, now we're going to move into the next segment of the show, which is this week's energy forecast reading. So sit back, relax, take some notes if you wish, in order to help yourself through the course of this week. Here's this week's forecast.
Hello, my name is Glenn Boddice and I'm a spiritual medium, and welcome to this week's energy forecast reading for the week commencing Monday the 22nd of January 2024. Now, those of you that watch me work will know that I connect with the Angel Tarot cards, bringing forward some wisdom, and also connect with my spirit guides and helpers. So let's shuffle the pack and see what comes out for you. So straight away a card has just leaped out. So this is your card for this week's forecast reading. I'm now going to link in with the vibration of that. First of all, I'm hearing my guides saying there's going to be beauty in the chaos this week. So what I feel they mean by that is you're going to be faced with certain circumstances, roadblocks, shall we say, hurdles in your way of this week. Now, at one time, you would have reacted rather negatively. Only this time round, I feel as though you're just going to observe these roadblocks, not attach your energy to them. Instead, you're going to see this as a beautiful sign for you to let you know how far you've come on your spiritual pathway, how far you've developed. In other words, you'll notice that these things won't trigger you anymore like they once did. So say when something's not going right in your life or how you used to perceive it, this time around you're going to perceive that as a beautiful sign that everything's working out okay and it's not triggering you anymore. Also, I sense that within this week, you're going to be very sensitive where your stomach is concerned. And I feel as though there's a connection with the foods that you're consuming. But also, I feel that predominantly this reaction in the stomach is down to these energetic upgrades, these ascension codes, the vibration expansion around you. So if you are feeling rather delicate whilst you're eating food, it's nothing medical. It's more on an energetic level. So just eat little and often, and that will help you through this process there. I also sense with you, though, that this week you're going to be picking up on spiritual activity, spirit beings being around your location, as the temperature will drop in and around wherever you happen to be. And nobody else can pick it up around you, only you're picking it up. And again, that's an indication of your sensitivity increasing this week. Don't be frightened, don't be intimidated. Instead, just have an inquiring mind and just observe whatever thought or songs come into your mind at that moment in time when you're experiencing that level of coldness around yourself there. This week we'll also see invitations coming your way unexpectedly. Now, at one time you would have said, no, I'm not sure, and made your excuses. This time I'm being encouraged to tell you that you are to be more open when you receive an invitation. Start and say yes to life. And remember, when you do that, life will start to say yes to you. So this will have a knock-on effect, and it will help you transform as an individual. More invitations will be coming your way as a result of accepting the ones that are coming in. So just be aware of that and start to say yes to life. You will also be encouraged to, now this is something that a lot of us don't do enough of, to take pen to paper and write down your thoughts. A lot of us use the electronic devices now to type rather than writing. You're being encouraged to write with your own handwriting, as this is expressing your intention, and it's in connection with you clearing out the debris in your mind and being clear about what you would like to achieve and what are your life goals for 2024. By writing it down, committing it to paper, you're actually putting it out into the universe there as well and adding your vibration onto that. So you're being encouraged to do that this week. There's also a very beautiful feeling of joy coming in and around myself. And I feel as though we're all going to experience this week, as there's going to be it's in connection with these invitations I spoke of. And it's something to do with the heart chakra, and that heart chakra of yours opening up and blossoming and feeling wanted, feeling needed, but also feeling confident as well, your confidence returning as this process is unfolding. I do feel as though whatever your circumstance is, whether you're single, married, in a relationship, or separated, everybody's going to experience this change in the heart chakra, this expansion, this feeling of joy and confidence. And also you'll have a bit of a spring in your step, and you'll appreciate your own worth. And so just watch yourself being conscious about what clothes you're wearing, about how you're turning up in the world. I feel as though this week, more so than ever, you're going to be more conscious of it, but more confident about doing that. So let's turn over the card for you. At the top of the card, we've got the angel number of number 17. So I'd like you to research number 17 as an angel number. There will be an additional message in that for you there as well. It says the star at the top. I feel as though that's talking about yourself. You're going to show yourself that level of respect that perhaps you haven't done for quite some time. And your confidence is going to return. And like I say, I feel as though more invitations will be coming your way and there'll be more eyes on you. And so this will give you a great sense of pride, but also you will be aware of that level of responsibility that you have
with your actions, with your thought processes, as there will be quite a lot of people observing the way that you're interacting in your life there. So at the bottom of the card, it reads inspiration, fulfillment, and faith. This is talking about you actually having that courage to start and talk your talk, walk your walk. And in doing so, you don't need to know the answers. In doing so, you'll be gifted opportunities coming your way when you have that level of faith to walk through those doors of opportunity when they are being knocked upon, so to speak. So looking at the card, at the edge of the card, we've got this beautiful colour of purple, and it's almost a blue purple there as well. So purple would indicate high vibrations around you. We mentioned earlier about the spirit world connecting in with you and you feeling that chilled energy around yourself this week. Again, just observe what thoughts are popping in your head upon witnessing those changes in your atmosphere, and this will be spirit communicating with you. Also, it represents that you will be safe and you'll be protected. And so no matter where you are at, there will be that level of protection around you there. Blue would indicate transformation with your emotions and also communicating them more confidently this week with others around you. Taking a look into the artwork, we've got this masculine angelic being. And as you can see, he's holding two jugs, pouring the water out there. So let's take a look at that symbolism. Basically, he's talking about the element of you, the masculine energy within you, whether you're male or female, that need to control or take that leadership role. He's telling you to relax a little bit more this week and just be more open to minor miracles coming into your life. Also, it's referring to a time for rest and reflection and observation this week. And it's talking about the emotions that you've been carrying on your shoulders for such a long time. This week we'll see you releasing those emotions and just be open to new opportunities coming your way. You don't need to know the answers. You just need to be open, be ready and willing to take that leap of faith. I do feel as though that this week will also see you walking through your emotions rather than avoiding them, like this gentleman is doing here, is walking through those waters of emotion there. And I just feel that this is going to be very empowering for you, and this is going to give you that confidence and that spring in your step that you've wanted for some time now there. And I feel this is connected with your heart chakra and also that vibration of love that maybe most of you have been hiding away. You're going to face up to it and walk through that vibration of love, and that spring in your step will occur as a result. Now, we've spoken upon all of these obstacles in your pathway this week. I feel as though that you will transcend them and you will feel the benefit of doing that. So that's what I picked up for this week's energy forecast reading. Thank you for hearting, liking, commenting and sharing. I hope that has aligned with you. If you've enjoyed what you've heard on here and you would like to support the work that I do, I have got a buy me a coffee link in the link above or below, and this is a virtual tip jar, so all of your donations will be gratefully received and used in accordance with the spiritual work that I do in order to help people rise and ascend on the spiritual pathway. If you would like a one-to-one private reading or any other of my services, go over to my website, www.glenboddicespiritualmedium.com, or find me on Facebook, Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium. In the meantime, join me every Monday, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, with my radio show From Beyond with Glenn Boddice, talking about all things spiritual, paranormal, and self-help at www.fulltalkradio.com. Fantastic week. Bye for now.
Well, it sounds like we're all in for an interesting and transformative week ahead, doesn't it? Certainly. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's show as much as Kristina and myself have doing it for you. It's something that we're going to be doing more of. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask any of the communicators, then please do get in touch by going to my website, www.glenboddicespiritualmedium.com, or you can email me at glenboddice@live.co.uk. And it would be wonderful to propose those questions to Spirit in a future episode. So have a fantastic week and join me next time, Monday, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on pulsetalkradio.com. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to From Beyond. For more information about what products and services Glenn provides, go to Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium